1 lesson 8 part 1. Subtracting rational numbers, subtracting examples, and notes. Subtraction is adding the opposite. We learned that with integers, and it's pretty much the same here. Change to addition, use the rules we use for addition, and that's basically it. So let's just run through a few examples, then you can do your practice. Negative 1 4/7 minus negative 6/7. First thing you're going to want to do here is add the opposite, so change to plus plus. Let me make that a little smaller. So, adding the opposite. So this is negative 1 4/7 plus 6/7. They both have the common denominator. 4 1/7 has a larger size than 6/7, so the answer is going to be negative. We're going to want to take 4 1/7 and subtract from it the 6/7, and then report the answer as negative. So, negative 4 1/7 excuse me here. I am having difficulty with my computer. Okay, try that again. Negative 4 1/7. We're going to subtract from that 6/7. Now, when we subtract here, of course, we're going to get a negative. 1/7 minus 6/7 can't be done, so we do have to borrow. And when we borrow, you have to add 6 here, or 7 actually, because you're borrowing a 1. 1 plus 7, that's 8. 8/7 minus 6/7 is 2/7. And then 3, you just can bring the 3 down. You get negative 3 2/7 is the answer there. Okay, 12.8 minus 21.6. You need to think of this as 12.8 plus a negative 21.6. The negatives are going to win. So we do 21.6, and then we're going to subtract from that 12.8, lining up the decimals. 6 minus 8 can't do it, so we're going to have to borrow. So 16 minus 8 is 8. Then we've got 20 minus 12 is 8. And I said the answer was going to be negative. So we get negative 8.8 as our answer. Okay. 1/3 minus negative 1/3. First you'll want to change that to plus plus. So it's 1/3 plus 1/3. It already has a common denominator. So 1 plus 1 is 2. You get 2/3 as the answer. Next example, negative 3 1/3 minus 5/6. You're going to need a common denominator here, and the common denominator is going to be out of 6. 1/3 becomes 2/6, and now we can subtract 5/6. Now these are both negative, so this is plus negative 5/6. So we can go ahead and add them. 3 2/6 plus 5/6 is 3 7/6. Now that will simplify down, because right now it is not in mixed number form. It doesn't have to be in mixed number form, it just can't be in this. This is nothing special. So 4 1/6, negative 4 1/6. We said earlier the answer was going to be negative. And this also you could have done 3 times 6, 18, plus 7, 25. This could be answered as negative 25/6 as well. That would be an okay answer. Okay, 4 1/2 minus 5 1/4. They have different signs. The negative is bigger here, so I'm going to put it on top. Negative 5 1/4. And we're going to subtract from that 4 1/2. 5 1/4, 4 1/2. We need common denominator here, so this is going to be 2/4. So 1/4 minus 2/4 is going to have to borrow. Add 4 more on there, that's 5, and we borrowed from here. So 5/4 minus 2/4 is 3/4, and 4 minus 4 is 0. And I said the answer was going to be negative, so negative 3/4 is the answer there. Negative 8.4 minus 6.8, they are both negative, so we just need to stack them and add them. 4 plus 7 is 11, carry the 1. 1 and 8 make 9, and 6 makes 15. So we get negative 15.1 as our answer. Next example. If you see minus negative, you want to change it to plus plus. So let's do that real quick. It's kind of cooperating. Okay, you want to add the opposite. So this is negative 20.5 plus 20.5. Now, those have the same size and they have different signs. So they're going to add to 0. So I'm just going to write that as the answer. And 0 is neither positive or negative. That is our answer, 0. Number 6. 0.41 minus negative 0.07. So change this to plus plus. And then we need to, they're both positive, so we just line them up and add them. So we've got 0.41 and 0.07. Oops, that doesn't look like a 7. Give me a sec, let me fix that. 0.07. Oh, that's horrible. Okay, 1 plus 7 is 8. 4 plus 0 is 4. So I get 0.48 as my answer. I guess we might put the 0 there. So 0.48 is our answer. Okay, now we're going to go back and do the examples from the notes that we did the addition problems yesterday. So starting on example 156, 5/6 minus 5/9. Okay, for this we're going to need a common denominator. 6 and 9 both go into 18. So let's use 18 as our common denominator. We do need to get common denominator first so that we can tell which one's bigger. Okay, 6 times 3 is 18, so 5 times 6 is 15. 9 times 2 is 18, 5 times 2 is 10. Now, 15 and negative 10, positives win. We can just do 15 minus 10, that's 5. And we have the common denominator of 18. And remember, the common denominator is common to both of the terms being added and the answer. Okay, example 157. 13/4 minus negative 8/3. First we need to change it to plus, add the opposite. These are both positive numbers now, so we just add them. 4 and 3. Common denominator, we could use any multiple of 12, but let's go ahead and use 12 because it's the smallest common denominator. Okay, 4 times 3 is 12. 13 times 3 is 39. 3 times 4 is 12. 8 times 4 is 32. So we need to take 39 and 32. They're the numerators. The denominators are common, so we're good there. 9 and 2 make 11, carry 1. And we get 71. So this can be answered as 71/12. If you want to do it as a mixed number instead, you would just need to long divide it. 12 goes into 71 almost 6 times. This would actually be 5 and 11/12. Because 12 goes into 72 6 times, and this is just 1 less than that. So this could be answered as the mixed number 5 and 11/12, or you could just leave it as 71/12. Okay, example 159. Find each sum or difference. Answer in the form indicated in the brackets. So this we're going to answer as a decimal. 314.5 minus 3/4. That's plus negative 3/4. But 314.5 is a lot bigger than 3/4. In fact, 3/4, this should be a memorized value, is 0.75. So we're going to take 314.5, and we're going to subtract from that 0.75. Looks like we need a placeholder 0. 0 minus 5 cannot be done, so we're going to do some borrowing. Okay, 10 minus 5 is 5. 4 minus 7, going to have to borrow again. 14 minus 7 is 7. decimal point, bring it down. And then we've got 3 minus 0, 1 minus 0, and 3 minus 0. And this was a positive number, 313.75. Okay, we already did this one last time. So I think that's all the examples. So in the assignment for Rational 3, oh, we're not doing the assignment yet. We're going to do a situation problem. Oh, that's good. In the water, the bottom of the boat is 2 feet below the surface. I'm going to go ahead and try to draw a picture of that. So we've got a boat in water, and when it's in the water, the bottom of the boat goes down to negative 2.1 feet. And the top of the boat at 8.7 feet. This is not drawn to scale. I'm just kind of doing a little number line here. So it's 8.7 feet above ground and 2.1 feet below. Towed on a trailer, the bottom is 1.3 feet above the ground. So we take the same boat, and now when it's in a trailer, okay, hopefully you get a nice laugh at my drawing abilities or lack thereof. So let's say that's being towed by a truck. Whatever. When we put it in the trailer, it is now off the ground 1.3 feet. Can the boat and trailer pass under the bridge? All right. So in this, everything that's given I've written in black. I'm going to do some things in a different color now. This right here is the size of the boat. When we add how far it is off the ground plus its size, we will get a total height for the boat on the trailer. To get the total size, we need to do some subtraction over here. We need to take the top of the boat, 8.7, and subtract the bottom of the boat, negative 2.1. And that will tell us how tall the boat is. The top of the boat minus the bottom of the boat. I see minus negative, so let's add the opposite. 8.7 plus 2.1, line up the decimal and add. They're both positive. We get 7 and 1's 8, 8 and 2's 10. So the boat is 10.8 feet tall. So this is going to be 10.8 feet. Now, with the 10.8 feet plus the 1.3 feet, that will give us how tall the boat is sitting on the trailer. So 10.8 and 1.3. 8 plus 3 is 11. Carry a 1. 10, 11, 12. 12.1 feet is how tall the boat is when it's on the trailer. So the clearance of the tunnel is 11 foot 8 inches. Will the boat fit? No, it won't. That's a big no, because 12.1 feet is a lot bigger than, well, 11 foot 8 inches is going to be 12.66 feet, 6'7" maybe, because 8/12 of a foot's 2/3 of a foot. So no, the boat's not going to fit. It's too high off the ground. Okay, in your practice, number one, you're just going to find difference. I recommend going through on these, and if you see minus negative, you change it to plus positive. You see something like this, just treat them as both negative. Treat them as both negative. But if you see minus negative, change it to add the opposite. Number two, you're going to plug these in. This is just like in that last assignment. You plug them in, and then you answer either as a fraction or a decimal. When it says fraction, it can be either a common fraction or a mixed fraction. Doesn't matter. Number three, you're going to find the area of this figure. You can actually just count up the area. It's going to be the number of boxes contained inside. Number four, find the height of the triangle. On this, 3 is the base times height, divided in half, should give you 4.5. You have to maybe work backwards a little to find this height. Number 5, solve. Okay, great. Number 6, match. Match each equation with the property it demonstrates. Now, we've talked about the commutative and associative properties. They are in your notes from near the beginning of the school year. So just look back probably around page 5 or 6. Distributive property, you should know what that is. It's the distributive property of multiplication over addition. I don't remember if it's in your notes. It probably is somewhere. And then these are just ones where you connect it to where it goes, that sort of thing. Number 7, evaluate the expression 2 halves minus a half plus 2 fourths minus a fourth plus 2 sixths minus a sixth. This is, you're looking for some ways of grouping these together so that it won't be as difficult to add or subtract, saving yourself some time. Okay, number 8. This one's similar to number 8 off of the last assignment, except it alternates between addition and subtraction. So you'll have to pay close attention to that.